My name is Paul Snook. I'm a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, mixing engineer, recording engineer, and producer. I met Cossi Bruno, part of Eden XL Music, around 2017. I had originally come back from New York. I lived in New York for 23 years. I owned a recording studio there called Night Owl Studios. I was the head engineer there, mixing engineer, and producer there. So I came back to the UK around 2017, and I remember meeting with Cossi Bruno around that time in town. And I got a really good vibe just from meeting him initially. I felt his drive, his motivation, his tenaciousness. And I think his uniqueness and innovativeness I felt, which I found really unusual. I've only met a couple of people in my life like that. So from that point on, I decided I would like to work with him. Bear in mind, I've mixed a lot of records, recorded, I've been a multi-instrumentalist myself, I've played behind famous people, and I really felt drawn to Cossi Bruno. So we initiated mixing a couple songs in the beginning, and what I was really intrigued with, I was actually really shocked, because a lot of the instrumentation and the musical arrangement was really on a high level. I liked his use of different vocals on different songs, different chord progressions, and different genres, different styles. Very unique, very unique. So from that day onwards, I've been the mixing engineer. So over the years, I've mixed probably 50 songs, maybe 40 songs, 50 songs. And I intend to keep mixing for him because I really think he's Eden XL Music and Cossi Bruno are really talented, and they really have a message. And it's not, you know, I record a lot of stuff and I mix a lot of stuff that's quite aimless. There isn't a message. There's no plan. And I think a lot of people record music nowadays with no plan, with no vision, with no message. That's the difference with Eden XL Music and Cossi Bruno. There's always a message, musically, lyrically, and also spiritually kind of way in the music, which I find really intriguing. Sometimes I listen to the songs, and after I've mixed them, I have them on in my car, and I'm blasting them. In fact, I was blasting one on the way here today, because, you know, it's really funny, because if you get involved in something like this, it's almost like I wasn't involved in it. I've mixed it, and then I listen to it with an objective ear, and it's really impressive stuff, really impressive stuff. My experience in the music industry is quite vast. I started off as a bassoonist, and then I became a session bass player. I played with Alexander O'Neill, Michael Bolton, Billy Ocean, and even Lulu. I then relocated to the US and part-owned a recording studio there. In my time there, I was there for 23 years. I worked at P. Diddy's studio for a little bit. I worked through a company called Club Create, where I edited some of the Biggie tracks. I did some stuff with for Keisha Cole, Day 26. I did some behind-the-scenes editing for Beyonce and Jay-Z. So my experience is vast, and then I've come back to the UK and worked with a few people here. Having worked on Eden XL Music, it has been an eye-opener. I would say that a lot of the stuff for me is above some of what I've worked on before, because it's very unique, and the combination of the music, the instrumental influences, and the lyrical and vocal references, and also the lyrics are quite intriguing and very well put together. Remember, I'm a musician and a singer myself, so a lot of producers and mixers don't actually sing or play an instrument. That's what I started in. So my experience and my opinion on this music is very in detail. So I listen, I hear the chords, I hear what the bass is doing, I hear what the vocals are doing. It's very unique, and I could not even compare this to anything that I've done before. That's what's really intriguing about this music. I could never compare it to anything else. It's in a league and a niche of its own, but yet accessible and understandable to me, to the masses globally. It's quite unique. I think if you look at all genres that are created, you know, you've had the grime, the R&B, people become so big that they create the niche. That's what's going to happen with Eden XL Music. The niche will be created by, it's not that it will slip into, it will create its own niche and basically take over the world and take over. I think there's going to be a lot of people across the world that will buy into Eden XL Music because maybe they like a bit of R&B, maybe they like a little bit of Afro beats, but this encompasses everything. It's very positive, very meaningful, and I see that Eden Music XL Music will create its own niche that a lot of people will be really interested in buying and being involved in the future. First dance, I mean, every time I receive music or files from Eden XL, they're all different. They're all different influences, different styles of music. It's very eclectic, very ethereal, very aesthetic, very rhythmic, very global music. But when I first opened up the First Dance tracks, it was interesting for me to hear the structure, the chordal structure, and also the rhythmical structure of the song. I would say it's very hard to define that song niche-wise. It kind of transcends a lot of different styles, Afro beats, R&B, calypso, all styles of music. What I like about that song is the diversity with the female vocal and the male vocal. Also, I like this undercurrent of the beat going underneath. If you listen to that song, in the breakdowns, they have that kick drum that's like a heartbeat. And it's almost like your heart is beating as you're hearing those vocals sail along the song. And as I said, it's quite aesthetic. It's quite a very uplifting song, but it's also a very danceable song, which is quite interesting. A lot of the stuff I mix is very focused on maybe the beat and maybe just the vocals. This for me has a combination. Again, I've mixed lots of songs.